Hello and welcome to the second part of Producer's Notes number 6 for DCS Black Shark. In the previous note we took a look at some of the unguided weapon systems of the Black Shark, those being the 30mm cannon, the gun pods, and unguided rockets. In this note we're going to take a look at the Vikhr anti-tank guided missile system and delivery of unguided bombs. To start with, we'll get some of the systems up and running. So we'll put the weapon computer system on, master arm to arm. We'll put the laser into standby mode. We'll put auto turn on and the track moving target for the Shval on. Now for the Vikhr is a beam riding laser guided anti-tank missile, and it uses the Shval sensor and the embedded principal laser designator ranging system to guide it. So what we'll do is we'll go ahead and use the Shval to lock up the target first. So we'll go ahead and uncage, come down, and look for a target. Nope. And looks like we have a self-propelled artillery battery out here. Oh, and looks like we have an M6 linebacker air defense vehicle that is protecting it. So I'm going to go ahead and lock him up. Now, up here on the HUD, this should look familiar now, we have our reticle indicating our Shval line of sight to the target. We have the range to the target, and we have automatic tracking enabled on that target as well. Next, we'll go ahead and we will select the Vikhr anti-tank missile. Now, the Vikhr itself, though, it's also called the 9A4172, also referred to as the AT9 in the West. And again, it's a beam riding system, which is quite a bit different than a system like the Hellfire for the Apache, which homes in on a laser spot. Rather, the Vikhr kind of rides down the laser beam from the launch aircraft to the target. And it has a little receiver in the tail of the missile that senses the laser energy and helps fly that missile to stay within that laser cone until impact. The missile itself is pretty darn fast, up to 610 meters per second, and that means it can cover up to 4 kilometers in just 9 seconds, so very fast. And again, also the principal system is the laser designator that we'll use to not just do the ranging, but also that'll be the laser that the system will guide down. So, as we talked about in the last note, we select our weapons through the weapon panel down here. In this case, the Vikhrs are on the outside panels, weapon station, so I'll go ahead and select that. And we see our designation for the anti-tank missile. We see that we have 12 of them on board, 6 on each of the 2 APU-6 launchers. Down here we can jettison the stores if we wish. The switch here, we talked a little bit about this last time. We have manual mode and auto mode. And this controls the ability of the Shval to automatically adjust the gate size when tracking. It also allows the restrictions to employ the weapon if you're outside launch constraints. And also will adjust the elevation of the APU-6 launchers to better align the missile with the locked target. In terms of the burst length here, when it's in the short mode, it'll launch just 1 missile at a time, whereas if it is in the medium or the long setting, it'll launch 2 missiles at a time. And this is handy when you're attacking a heavily armored target, or if you want to increase your chances of target kill on the first launch. Now we have the Vikhr selected. We have also some additional symbology up here on the HUD, and that is the Vikhr reticle. And this shows us where the Vikhr is looking, and it consists of a line out here which indicates the maximum range of the missile. The little line here indicates the minimum line, and then around the outside is a third line which either grows or contracts according to range to target. Now, as long as this line is within these 2 other smaller lines, it indicates that you're within valid range to target. and right now we see that it's 5.6 kilometers. Now, if we go ahead and move the Vikhr reticle over the Schwal reticle, we have a C, which indicates that we're in a valid launch parameter to fire that missile. If we move outside, the C goes away. Now, at any time, I can also refresh my laser ranging by pressing down the designate button. And when I do that, I have the laser designation ranging indication up here. We have a countdown timer that indicates how long it will be until I can do a ranging again, basically to avoid burning out the laser. So we have our target locked. We'll go ahead and actually set this to medium, so we'll actually fire 2 missiles. We're going to keep it in auto mode. I'm going to put one reticle over the other and hold down the weapon release button. And there go the missiles. You see that this indication that it is tracking using the laser, and this is the countdown timer until impact, plus 6 seconds. So at 6 seconds we'll have impact, which we see, and the target is dead. Let's go ahead and do another target. Go ahead and lock them up. But this time we'll go ahead and just do a single missile. So I'm going to put this down to short. Align my reticles and launch. Now you notice the spiral corkscrew pattern of that missile. That's because the missile only has a single servo for steering control. As such, you get that corkscrew pattern because it only has one axis that it's using. Now, if we come outside the aircraft, as we pitch up or pitch down, we'll see that the APU-6 launchers, which house the Vikhr, will adjust themselves to align the launchers with the target. And again, we'll need to keep that switch in auto mode to let that happen. So that's a little overview of using the Vikhr anti-tank missile. Next we'll look at using unguided bombs. So I'm going to go ahead and reset. I'm going to select the inner pylons now for weapons, and we see we have our designator for the munition canisters, and we have 2 of those. If we go outside the aircraft, take a look at those. Now, when delivering unguided bombs, it's not that different from the level of technology of a World War II era aircraft. There's really no kind of fancy aiming devices or CCIP delivery reticles. It's pretty much using a lot of Kentucky windage to get the bombs on target. So, that being said, we'll probably go ahead and put the HUD to standby mode. Go ahead now and take off the hover mode, reset trim, and we'll fly to the target. Now you notice down here on the ABRIS, during pre-flight, I went ahead and created a box over the target area so I can better align myself during my bombing run. Now, if I were delivering a bomb such as a 250 kilo bomb, I would probably do so in more of a diving attack. But given I'm going to be using the canister, it makes more sense to just a level delivery over the target area. And we're starting to make out some of the artillery firing here in the distance. And shortly before I get to the target, I'll go ahead and hold down the release weapon button. And release. And there go my weapons. And again, releasing unguided weapons is pretty straightforward, not too complicated. So that concludes this note, taking a look at the Vikhr anti-tank missile and unguided weapons. I hope you enjoyed this note, and I'll see you next time.